ANCHI accessing is literally a field of infinite information. It's information of all reality. So I may have something specific I want to know about, or I may just enjoy the learning process. Probably for one of you, there could have been a discussion of a gift you've had, but have been reluctant about the gift. And it's encouragement. It's an encouragement to be more yourself. It's an encouragement to develop. It's an encouragement to experience life more fully. And ultimately, to do all of that, we have to be functional. It doesn't happen with dysfunction. And that is why it's always going to be grooming you to function. As you practice this technique, and you do it by yourself, you don't need a group, you don't need to go anywhere. If you are consistent with just saying, all right, give me some thoughts. You don't even have to do, just your direction is, give me some thoughts. And just start picking it up, start journaling, just write down whatever it is. You will have entered into untold realms, literally, that are they're at your disposal. And that is you being your true self, having access to that. It is part of your birthright to have access to that. We have trouble reaching it sometimes. But if you have a technology, and this is technology, if you have a technology that can support that accessing and is interacting with you as an individual, you can begin to accelerate anything you want to do or anywhere you want to go. Even the researchers in Europe consider the field around them the mother field. It contains everything. It contains it in potential. So the interaction with you is one way you take it out of the passive potential and into the active, doing something with it. And it begins with thoughts. They are going to be organizing you. You don't have to think about that. It's going to occur by their very nature. If you just start building from the basics on up, on up, on up, on up. And this is one of the on-ups, because you're proactive. You know, you're not just the recipient. You're saying, wait, I want to say what it is I want and get it. Or I want it in my head, not just occurring like trying to fill my blood. You don't feel your chakras, your energy centers align. You don't feel the field around your body as a rule, normalizing. You don't feel when you're connected to the earth and then beyond, above. You don't usually feel that. So this is more conscious. And if you get on that conscious level of interaction, you are utilizing what is there in potential to a much, much higher degree. I use ANCHIs every day for maintenance. I've said I think that's the #1 rule. To the extent I can expand that and say, show me, tell me. That's actually where I've discovered many things. I just say, show me, tell me. Show me, tell me. And it starts unraveling to something that's pertinent to me. and I may not have picked the subject. Show me, tell me is a tremendous phrase for opening doors inside your being. Just show me, tell me. That's neutral. That's being willing to engage, to experience. So, for those of you who wrote something, how did you feel about it? By the way, if anyone doesn't want to be on video, would you tell us? You did it? Okay. So, does anyone want to talk about how they felt, or this was not a quiet group before. I know I've got you in unfamiliar territory here.
Well, I just started writing, and I was amazed that it just kept coming and coming and coming.
That's right.
You know, I didn't expect that, and it would take right turns and left turns, and so it was just really neat.
And you can go back and read it and reread it. And so, did you pick, Suzanne, did you pick a direction, or did it pick its direction?
At first I picked a direction, but then it felt like there was an embellishment that went in different directions that I had not expected.
Were you pleased with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this something a Suzanne would do other times?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, something that Glenda would do. Anybody, I mean, I see she said, I felt like. She was feeling it. And then according to how it felt, her hand she could hear her thoughts and write thoughts. Anybody else? Such a quiet group for our group. Sandy, this is an excellent technique for you. It's going to be unfamiliar to you. And you're going to go, what are they talking about? I can't do that.
Yes, well, that's what
And I'm not getting anything. You're the very one that when you catch the wave, so much in your whole life is going to come together. Because it's self-empowerment. Self-empowerment. And that is developmentally important to us all. That I don't have to go to another authority. I have means to get what it is that is right for me, and I'm independent. And that is something that you will enjoy. So I would encourage you to just put your pen on the paper, let the thoughts come. Ask your ANCHIs, you have ANCHIs. Ask your ANCHIs to be your friend, show you, tell you what it is you need to know. And start letting it flow. And the more that happens, the more powerful you will be. Yeah. Anybody else? Carrie, you're still writing.
Well, I went back about 20 minutes ago, and one of the words I had written down was encouragement.
Oh.
And then above that, yeah, actually I wrote encouragement twice. It's all right. It's enough. Encourage, impression that it's all okay.
Well, you certainly look beautiful on your scarf. I can tell you that.
It just called to me.
Paul, you made a very nice, circle in the council. Did this come naturally for you? Did you?
Well, you made a comment earlier on that gave me the thought of it. But I think of a council as being a circle.
Yes.
And Also, I see in my scientific mind a reflector,
Yes,
a concentrator and a reflector. I found that as I started writing, things started flowing kind of like automatic writing. And the thought came into my analytical head, I'm not sure the crystals are what's talking. It may be that I'm simply stilling myself and listening, and it's facilitating a feeling about me that allows what has always been there to become manifest.
and that works.
And size doesn't matter.
Size does not matter. Size does not. It is an ANCHI, it is connected to quantum. So size does not matter. Cheryl, you're over there still writing. What's happening with you?
Hang in there, I'll come back to you.
Okay.
I'm over here.
Amy, I love the way you're holding yours.
I can't let it go. I closed my eyes and I went on a whole journey with this one, and I picked up a few of the others and got some information, but this one I just kept getting visuals and sensations, and a lot of information. It was amazing.
That is.
This I picked up yesterday, and I thought about it the whole way here. No, still my heart just feels it so much. It's nice.
And that's a definite interaction and an exchange.
Mhm.
What about you, Jed?
I'm still writing in my head.
Still flowing.
It's still flowing, yes. Some of this, the point where Paul mentioned, are these just thoughts that are already in me, and which I think they are, that I think ANCHI or the field is bringing them out. Facilitating them so that I can articulate them and go where they want me to go with them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And see, that's very much a counsel.
Yes.
If it facilitates what is in you and allows it to come out in front enough to put it on paper or think it, that's very much a counsel.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Celine, you do this all the time. So how did, and you do a counsel all the time. Maybe not in this layout, but you counsel.
I do, and what was surprised me was that I put out a half idea of where I thought it might go. It's like, no. We're going to align you first, and then they just went to work within the body, within the organs. It's still shifting, the spine is still shifting. We're going to perfect the vehicle first.
Yes, the practicalities,
Yes. Yes.
fundamental practicalities.
Yes. But then there is some information here, and frequently what I write, and I'm seeing it here, is something that's incomprehensible to me at the moment. It makes no sense at all, but probably will tomorrow. And I'm okay with that.
Very cool.
You're very natural with this field. So in your case, it probably will make sense tomorrow.
That's why I must write it down.
Yes, yes. What about, Lynn, for you? Because this is new to have something like this. How did this feel for you?
They're definitely my friends already,
Yes,
and they're playful right now. They're not
Yes.
serious.
yes.
So it's about,
Being charming and engaging.
exactly. So it's kind of like the courting stage,
Yes,
that we're getting to know each other and all the sweet things that are being said that I need to hear.
and you know, it addresses, sometimes in us there's a place, when you stand in your sovereignty, you are alone in your sovereignty. And sometimes there can be loneliness. And if you have that playful, that it's embracing, it is definitely a counter to a sense of loneliness in a way.
It's interesting, because one of the main things that came up is that I'll never be alone again.
That's right.
So,
You will never be alone
again.
again. That is sweet. That's all you need is you will never be alone again. 6 words, that's
Perfect.
all you needed. And you live with it your whole life.
Mhm.
Lisa, did you play? You did?
It's real interesting how things just start coming through. It's kind of cool.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna play some more.
that's right. And in your background as a researcher, I have found with ANCHIs, I like to know how things work. I like to know a perspective. And they can explain very complicated things in very usable, practical ways. So it might be interesting for you to use the library in what you do and get information there.
Cool.
Yeah.
And less sleep.
Yes. Beth, how did it feel for you? Just feel.
Yeah, that's what I got. I didn't get any thoughts. I just got feelings like warm, pulsating heat. I felt a lot of energy around my third eye. And healing just was a thought that did come to mind. Healing, healer. So. But I'm anxious to do it again.
Yes.
Back at home.
Yes. This is about exploring. It's about experiencing, about exploring. And for those of you that will take ANCHIs up on it, you will explore indefinitely. And I have said this, I lived a certain kind of lifestyle from 18 to 50. And when you talk about it, it sounds wonderful and great and so much choices and going on and what you did every weekend, you know, condos at the beach and all this and that. And I was bored every second of that life. I don't care how much external activity I had. Something inside of me was bored. And there was something that money couldn't satisfy the boredom. I was bored. Nothing satisfied the boredom. When I began understanding what these were, something besides potential bath minerals, and what they carried, I have never been bored since. I am not bored. And I can't tell you what a luxury that is to not be bored. I am not bored. I can sit down anytime, any place, any moment, with any ANCHI, little, big, and I can go and navigate or learn or do, or I learn from people what's happening with them. And I'm just fascinated when they tell their stories. I'm fascinated by the research, what they find. I am not bored. delight that is to not be bored. What you have sitting in front of you in this kind of technique can keep you from being bored the rest of your life. No matter where you are, no matter where you think you want to go, you can go. For some of you, you'll learn to, in your being, you're going to learn to go in that field with these little friends and begin to navigate. Your body's going to be here, but your mind is going to be going places. You will not be bored. These are your friends. It's a new way of looking at them as friends. It's a new technique. It's absolutely powerful. Before we close, Cheryl, do you want to say anything?
I have 4 lines I wrote that came through. So, ancient energy and chunks of light, crystal structure holds all so tight. Gifts we share, our paths are known, hold us tight, for we are home.
Don't you love that? Because when you travel, this is home. What is, I wouldn't have brought that up except Cheryl did, or Cheryl's aunties did. When you get into these interdimensional fields, we have come from somewhere, and we're going to go back somewhere. And they are literally home. It is home. It is home. All right, shall we take a break?